Welcome back, everyone, and thanks for tuning into the show. It's Thursday, the 18th of September, 2025, and tonight we've got one of the biggest crypto updates in years. If you hold XRP, if you've ever laughed about Dogecoin, or if you've been waiting for altcoins to step onto the same stage as Bitcoin and Ethereum, today is your day. Because for the very first time, the United States has officially launched spot ETFs for XRP and Dogecoin. The tickers are XRPR and DOJE, and they went live this morning on the Cboe exchange. This alone would be big news, but it doesn't stop there. The SEC has also introduced sweeping rule changes that cut the approval time for crypto ETFs from nearly a year down to as little as 75 days. That means today isn't just about two new products, it's about the start of a new era. We'll get into what this means for XRP, what it means for institutions, what it means for the rest of the altcoin market, and of course, what it could mean for price action in the months ahead. But before we dive into the big story, let's ground ourselves with a look at the top 10 coins by market cap. Bitcoin is holding at around $117,600, up about 1.5%. Ethereum has climbed to roughly $4,600, gaining 2.6%. XRP is trading just over $3.12, moving higher with a 3% gain. Binance Coin is sitting just under the $1,000 mark, with a strong 4.6% increase. Solana is at $248, up 6%. Dogecoin has jumped to 28.5 cents, gaining 7.4%. Cardano is at 92 cents, up 6.6%. Tron is holding at 34 cents, with a smaller 2% lift. Chainlink is pushing to $24.50, rising 6.5%. And Avalanche closes out the top 10 at $33, leading the day with a massive 12% surge. That's a sea of green, and Avalanche and Dogecoin are the standout performers. But the headline doesn't come from the charts. It comes from the fact that for the first time ever, XRP and Dogecoin can now be bought through US-listed ETFs. So let's talk about that. The REX-Osprey funds, XRPR for XRP and DOJE for Dogecoin, launched today on the Cboe. These are the first ETFs in the US to offer spot exposure to either of these coins. They're structured under the 1940 Act, which means they follow stricter rules on diversification and oversight. That also means they're not pure one-to-one spot funds. They hold a majority of their assets directly in XRP or Dogecoin, but they also include derivatives and related products to meet those standards. The important part, though, is this. Investors with standard brokerage accounts can now buy XRP exposure with the click of a button. Pension funds, retirement accounts, and institutions that would never open a crypto wallet can now put XRP on their books. For XRP, that's a landmark. This is a coin that spent years in the crosshairs of the SEC lawsuit, with doubts about its status and its future. And yet, here we are. The SEC has allowed an Ripple ETF to trade on US markets. Whatever your stance on Ripple, whatever your stance on XRP's use case, that is legitimacy at a level we've never seen before. But what makes today even bigger is that the SEC didn't just allow these two ETFs. It also cleared the way for many more. The new generic listing standards mean that if an ETF meets the criteria, things like market surveillance, futures trading history, and underlying market quality, it can be listed automatically without waiting 240 days for a case-by-case review. Instead of a year of uncertainty, issuers can get approval in as little as 75 days. That's a massive shift. It's why analysts are now talking about Solana, Cardano, and even further down the list of altcoins getting their own ETFs much faster than anyone thought possible. So what happens next? For XRP, the first thing to watch is inflows. How much money actually moves into XRPR in the first few weeks? When the Bitcoin ETFs launched, there was initial hype, then a pause, and then huge institutional flows that drove the rally higher. If we see billions flowing into XRPR, it will have a direct impact on XRP's price and liquidity. If inflows are smaller, the effect will take longer to build. But one way or another, this opens a door that has never been opened before. The second thing to watch is tracking performance. Does XRPR trade in line with XRP's spot price? Or do we see premiums and discounts like we did with grayscale funds in the past? If demand is strong, XRPR could trade above the underlying asset, which would tell you institutions want the regulated version so badly they'll pay extra. If it trades below, it might signal investors are cautious. Either way, this will be closely watched. Third, derivatives are about to enter the picture. CME has already announced it plans to list options on XRP and Solana futures starting October 13th. That means institutions will be able to hedge and speculate on XRP with the same tools they use for equities, commodities, and Bitcoin. This takes XRP out of the world of speculative trading and into the world of structured finance. It puts it on the same playing field as the biggest assets in the market. Now let's be clear. None of this guarantees XRP will moon overnight. There are risks. XRPR and DOJE aren't pure spot products, and management fees will eat into returns. XRP is still volatile, and an ETF wrapper doesn't change that. The hype could also set unrealistic expectations. If traders are expecting $10 tomorrow and it doesn't happen, the disappointment could hit hard. Regulators could also still intervene if they feel investor protections aren't strong enough. So while today is a milestone, it's not a free pass to endless gains. But stepping back, what we're seeing is crypto maturing in real time. XRP is no longer just a coin battling regulators and building partnerships quietly in the background. It's now a regulated financial product on US markets. Dogecoin, which started as a joke, has somehow landed in the same position. And with the SEC streamlining the ETF process, Solana, Cardano, and others are lining up right behind them. For the first time, altcoins are standing shoulder to shoulder with Bitcoin and Ethereum in the ETF world. That's not hype, that's reality. And it means the conversation around crypto is going to shift. No longer will the question be, if institutions get exposure to altcoins, it will be, how much? So as we wrap this up, what should you take away? 1. Today was historic. XRP and Dogecoin ETFs are now live in the US. 2. The SEC has made it easier than ever for more altcoin ETFs to follow. And 3. The real test starts now. Inflows, tracking performance, derivatives markets, and how institutions respond. For XRP holders, this is validation. For institutions, it's an invitation. And for the rest of the market, it's a sign that crypto is no longer knocking on the door of traditional finance. It's inside the room. Let me know what you think. Is this the catalyst that takes XRP to $5, $10, maybe more? Or is this just another hype cycle waiting to settle down? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash like if you're bullish, and don't forget to follow for the next update. And as always, protect your holdings, secure your crypto with a ledger. The affiliate link is in the description, and we will see you at the top.